his dying moments is set to blow the lid off the Hollywood pedophile ring. The video statement he made is reported to expose some of Hollywood's most recognizable faces as child rapists, according to reports. Haim's best friend and fellow child star, Corey Feldman, has since blamed the sexual abuse that both had suffered as children as being the tipping point that led to Haim's drink and drugs-fueled death. The pair had even discussed being the victims of pedophilia in their reality TV show, The Two Coreys, after Corey Haim broke down revealing he was raped as a kid. After his friend's death, Corey Feldman elaborated that his friend was raped by Hollywood's elite at just 11 years old. Due to the statute of limitations laws in the U.S., the time has now passed for Feldman to name names without facing prosecution himself for doing so. Haim's confession has been described as a smoking gun and could be the key to finally bringing justice for his and many others' sexual abuse at the hands of Hollywood's elite. According to She Knows, Feldman has been discussing the sick environment of Hollywood child sexual abuse for years, even detailing the abuse both he and Haim suffered in his memoir, Choreography. He told The Hollywood Reporter about parties for preteen actors where predators groom their next victims and said that he and Haim had attended many. And he's not the only one speaking out. Elijah Wood said he was protected from such predators because his mother would not allow him to attend the parties, and although he later denied first-hand knowledge of rampant sex abuse in the industry, he gave some very telling quotes to the Sunday Times. Clearly something major was going on in Hollywood. It was all organized. There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind, he said. There is darkness in the underbelly. If you can imagine it, it's probably happened. Even Allison Arngrim, who played Nellie Allison on Little House on the Prairie, said the abuse was an open secret in Hollywood. I literally heard that they were passed around, she told Fox News in 2011. The word was that they were given drugs and being used for sex. It was awful. These were kids, they weren't 18 yet. There were all sorts of stories about everyone from their, quote, set guardians on down that these two had been sexually abused and were totally being corrupted in every possible way. Feldman himself said that Haim was raped by someone who is still a huge name in Hollywood and that his own abusers are still working in the industry, but he is too afraid to name names because of what he calls a very real chance of retribution, legal or otherwise. I believe that Haim's rapist was probably connected to something bigger and that is probably how he has remained protected for all these years, Feldman said in the 2016 THR interview. This person uses intimidation and threats as a way to keep people quiet. And all these men were all friends. Ask anybody in our group of kids at that time, they were passing us back and forth to each other. I would love to name names. I'd love to be the first to do it, he continued. But unfortunately California, conveniently enough, has a statute of limitations that prevents that from happening. If I were to go and mention anybody's name, I would be the one that would be in legal problems and I'm the one that would be sued. But now someone might finally be stepping up to the plate to name and shame the alleged abuser. Radar Online says they've been investigating for 4 years and have the name of the predator, an A-list star who is the kingpin of a child sex ring. And while they are not revealing the name, probably due to that same threat of lawsuit Feldman fears, they say one of Haim's closest confidants is preparing to tell all and has been offered a primetime TV special to do so. Corey was afraid Hollywood would ostracize him. He was a big star but this man was bigger. He said, no one would ever believe me. A source told Radar. It was ugly. To me, Corey was this innocent little Toronto kid. But these men chewed him up and spat him out. By exposing the sick and twisted double lives of Haim's abuser and the likes of Bill Cosby, the veil of secrecy that has protected these creeps will be shattered, their enablers will be exposed. The truth must be told. Haim, and the countless others who have been victimized, may finally see justice of some sort, and maybe he can finally rest in peace.